Welcome to Comicstorian Full Story. We create audio dramas of large, sprawling comic book storylines. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems. Today is going to be the standalone storyline, Batman Who Laughs, which basically tells the story of how he got his revenge on comic book Batman.
Then, the sun sets over Wayne Manor. Outside, the smell of fresh-cut grass fills young Bruce's nose as he races across the lawn. Alfred and his parents stand with their hands locked, racing as fast as he can. He tries to break their grip, but he can't. Laughter fills the air as the family continues to play. It is Bruce's first and happiest memory. Now, the Bat Raptor careens down the highway as Batman avoids an explosion, yelling for Alfred to give him a status update as he chases after a flatbed truck with a house strapped to the back of it. "I'm reading 3 shooters, sir, with extra compartments inside of the flatbed cushioning," Alfred's stoic voice informs him over the radio. But he can't see what they're smuggling, though. Children watch with a smile as Batman races by their family cars on the highway. "We have to get them off the road now. There are too many people here." The truck smashes through 2 more cars, sending them towards the rails, and with a quick launch from the Bat Raptor grappling them together, they are left hanging off the highway. Luckily, Gotham banks offer an amazing Batman insurance. The thugs on the truck have had enough of the Caped Crusader, and they launch one of the houses at him. Batman has been following these smugglers for a while. Word on the street is that they are smuggling unidentified bodies out of Gotham for weeks. He couldn't save them in life, but he will protect them in death. He presses the button for ejection out of the Bat Raptor, launching himself into the air and clear over the house as it breaks apart. Batarangs launch through the air, disarming the shooters on the truck as he swoops in. One of the goons cushions his fall as Batman rams his boot into the man's chest, driving them both through the roof of the house. Inside, cloaked in the shadows of the house, Batman begins to scan, and he manages to find a secret compartment, and a silver casket greets him. He opens it up to find the face of Bruce Wayne staring back at him from inside the casket. Alfred sputters confusion over the radio. "Sir, is that you?" Later, Bruce has disguised himself as the mortician at the morgue. The body of a Bruce Wayne lays on the table before him, roughly age 42, death unknown. The subject was in good physical health, with no wounds or signs of internal injuries. "Are you hearing me?" Bruce asks a silent Alfred over the radio. The trusty butler comes through apologizing. It's hard to be clinical when he knows who the man is on the table. That is Bruce Wayne. Our Bruce understands, but he needs him. He doesn't have a lot of time. The DNA matches, they are the same person, and the scars are consistent with the ones that he received in his early years as Batman. But the histories of his scars stop at a certain point. Batman theorizes that this Bruce Wayne stopped fighting crime when Bane broke his back. The evidence points to him working on civil projects to clean up Gotham. An indentation on his finger would suggest a wedding ring, and a tattoo suggests a child. If he had a child, he was going to suggest the same name when he saw Selina. All evidence points to this Bruce being happy. The radio goes dark as suddenly Bruce is behind Alfred in the car, pulling the mask from his face. "Alfred, it's him. He's back, I know it." Alfred knows where they have to go, and Bruce tells him to take them there now. Arkham Asylum is bathed in the pale moonlight. Inside, 2 guards chat while making their rounds when suddenly one of them is startled as Batman appears behind him. They just redid the sensor triggers. How did he even get in? "I have to say, it's an honor, sir," starts one of them. Suddenly, a red-hot blade sweeps through the air, cutting the man in half. Other guards appear, ordering the Dark Knight to stand down. Something's wrong, though. One of the men begin to notice it immediately. "Are those guns? Batman doesn't use guns!" The Dark Knight turns, leveling his rifle. Gunfire erupts as the smell of a crit smoke fills the hallway. Brass casings fall to the floor, but they're drowned out by the gunfire in the tight space. Guards fall as bullets rip through their bodies, shot by Batman. Knives cut through flesh and bones break beneath the heel of his boots. Grimly, the Batman continues through the hallways, leaving a pool of blood in his wake. Victor Fries watches the man pass his cell, and he tries to reason with him. Wordlessly, Batman lights him on fire. Continuing on with the screams of pain behind him, this torturous Batman stands outside a cell. A final knife ending the life of a guard who radios in his presence. The cell opens, and Batman stands in the doorway. "Hello, old friend." A grin meets him from the shadows as the Joker leans forward into the light. "Why, hello, Bats! Don't tell me you're here to kill me!" But Batman just offers a tight smile. No, he steps aside, allowing a darker figure forward. "But I am." The Joker stammers out a plea. We can team up! We can work together!" But the Batman who laughs gives him his answer as he brings his sickle down on the clown's head. Later, Batman and Commissioner Gordon stand atop the GCPD in the rain, the bat signal lying dark beside them. They know it wasn't you. They know that the real you wouldn't use guns, but they're scared. "I'm keeping the signal off, Batman." Batman tells him that he understands. And Batman tells him about the other Batmen, the one who laughs. A dark mirror image of himself that was infected when he killed the Joker from an alternate universe. A Batman that is also the Joker. He's not the Joker, Jim, but he's also Batman. He's me. He's here to win, to kill anything and everything that is a threat. He led the same life. He knows all of my secrets. He is an apex predator. He has a plan, and I just can't see it yet. Batman leaps off into the night. He needs help. But the decoy of the Joker that has been in the Joker cell has been there for days. Batman knew where he was. Returning to the cave, he orders Alfred to lower the water levels in the waterways, the pathways leading into the Bat Cave. Only one man has ever used those to potentially get into the cave, and only one man would be there right now. Alfred is shocked as the water lowers, and it takes a little time for something with pale skin and green hair to appear from the water. And the Joker stands before them. He pulls out a gun, and he aims it at Batman. Before the Dark Knight can react, the gun fires. The bullet exits the rear of the gun, piercing the Joker through the heart. Batman grabs the clown as he falls, laughing. The only way you'll beat him is to become me. Alfred stares in horror as Batman's mouth pulls back a grin. An insane cackle begins to rip out of his throat, and the laughter begins to fill the cave as Batman kneels over the Joker's body, infected. Light shines down on the operating table as Alfred uses all of his skill to keep the Joker alive. He's not going to make it, the faithful states, looking up into the shadows of the Batcave. He is. The shadows respond. Batman refuses to let his arch enemy die, but in his chest cavity is nothing but ruined tissue and blood. Even if he had shot himself inside an operating room, Alfred doesn't think he could survive. Batman disagrees and he orders him to suction. Alfred continues to work, yet he doesn't understand, with all that's going on in Gotham right now, they could just let this happen. The Joker is so pumped full of drugs that he could just slip away. I know how badly you want this man gone, but you will not let him die. Batman orders him, stepping from the shadows, revealing the myriad of Joker toxin antidotes being pumped into his system. If he keeps taking them daily, he should hold off his transformation into the Batman who laughs for maybe a week. Alfred turns up from the clown. A week? You should be out hunting that monster down. Anger begins to swell in the Dark Knight, and he turns to his old friend. What you need to do is shut up and mind your patient. Now get your hands back in that clown! He screams through the shadows. Fatigue suddenly hits him and he slumps down. I'm sorry. Seeing himself out there like that, knowing what is happening now, this feels like the end for Bruce. They know the same things. They've gone through the same history. There's nothing that the Batman who laughs won't do to win. He wins, Alfred. He has no weakness that I can discern. The silence is suddenly broken. Wheezing laughter of the Joker. Batman sits up fast, his eyes reddened with the Joker toxin being pumped through his veins right now. Yet, he realizes that it's a simple physical response. He'll most likely live. Elsewhere in Gotham, a young woman is driving down the street when a body falls out of the sky. The front of her car is totaled as the body crumples inward. Later, James Gordon and Harvey Bullock stand over the body of yet another Bruce Wayne from an alternate reality. The buildings above them aren't that tall, which doesn't make any sense for how this Bruce Wayne tumbled from such a great height. Welcome to Tuesday in Gotham, Bullock chuckles. The other Bruce Wayne disintegrated in the morgue as if his cells were made from some unstable matter, much like dark matter. Maybe the Batman who laughs is pulling them from another dimension. Why Bruce Wayne is so special, though, who knows? Bullock states, chomping on his cigar and staring at the body. Gordon peers at his partner for a moment. Normally, Batman is better about his disguises. Are you okay, Batman? You seem off. Then he shrugs off his old friend's concern. Batman will be fine. Similar to the last Bruce Wayne, this one led a different life. This Bruce was mayor of Gotham and was probably in a blimp when he was pulled through into this dimension. Whatever they wanted from this Bruce, they already got it. A puncture wound in his heart shows where the one who laughs took something. He's using his cells to make something. He's from the dark realm. He could be making something to infect people. A patrolman pushes through the crowd, waiting to speak to Detective Bullock, who we now know is the undercover Batman. It seems the boys in blue are having a pool as to who's going to win this little fight. The Batman, or the one who laughs. Anger flashes through Batman and he whirls around at the young man, screaming at him for interrupting. Gordon pushes him back, telling the officer to go back to his post. He tries to soothe the disguised Batman. However, he usually tries to make the men feel more important, even with the Darknet around. Yet Gordon, he's always been on Batman's side. Batman understands, and he wants to show Gordon something. He shows him an old map of Gotham. The original families built the Wayne Tower to be the central hub of the city. When the plague came through, it wiped out a third of the city. They built a failsafe and they called it the Last Laugh. The system would blow the entryways and vaccinate the entire city. After the last Joker attack, Batman began to build his own Last Laugh system, a final defense against a biological attack, a way to cleanse the entire city, with the central hub being Wayne Tower. Inside Wayne Tower, at this very moment, the elevator man hears the voice of Bruce Wayne calling from the hallway. He stands to his feet, asking if the approaching billionaire is going up. The villain, clad in black leather, steps through the corner. Ha! Always, Bill. Always. Bill smiles, his eyesight long gone. He's always liked Bruce Wayne. He's one of the good ones. At the top, the elevator dings, and the guards turn. The one who laughs is in amongst them quickly, his blades slashing and cutting them up, blood splattering as limbs are severed and batarangs cut deep into flesh. He stops smiling at the window, counting down. The glass shatters as Batman explodes through the window, screaming for the madman to stop. Ah, you're looking well! The villain cackles and the fight begins. The one who laughs is leaner and faster, but Batman is stronger. They know each other's moves, but Batman's been training, developing a fighting style the one who laughs won't know. He stands over his fallen foe, breathing heavily. This is where your plan ends. But Batman doesn't know the plan. Well, maybe not all of the plan. Even laying here, out of the line of fire, the round hits him in the chest before he could even hear the shot, and Batman is on the floor. The one who laughs stands over him now, warning him not to move. That round that the Grim Knight shot him with has a taser in it, the deadliest man alive. Batman, what if Joe Chill had dropped the gun in that alley all those years ago? In the Grim Knight's world, Gotham is his weapon. Batman struggles to try and get up. I'll kill you if I have to. The words just bring laughter, the one who laughs. Killing himself means that it doesn't count. A free pass. The one who laughs begins to pull wires from the wall. Batman questions his motives, but he already knows he's dismantling the Last Laugh. The building will implode with everyone in it, so Batman screams to the computer to shut down, but it won't listen. So he yells to the one who laughs, "Stop!" But he just cackles. Batman struggles to his feet, promising to kill the other. And the one who laughs can smell the change coming. He knows what it must feel like. He leaps from the building, his laughter disappearing into the night air. Grabbing Bill the elevator man, Batman leaps from Wayne Tower as it topples, fire and dust filling the streets below. Back in the cave, Bruce tears his mask off, screaming for Alfred to awaken the Joker. He begins to shake the Joker, anger racking through his body. He wants to know the plan. What is he going to do? But the Joker only giggles quietly as his drug-fueled body is still sleeping. Alfred tries to pull Bruce away. The Joker is still gone, when suddenly his eyes snap open, maniacally staring. He's here, yet he doesn't know. Only one person knows the one who laughs plans. The son of one of Batman's greatest allies, James Gordon. Commissioner Gordon stands over his son, James. We need to talk, but James just continues his work, scanning boxes for stocking. I've been doing everything they ask, I promise, he tells him, continuing his work. He can't stop. Everything he does is timed and monitored.
He does what they ask. He does the finger prick twice a day. Everything to keep within the program. But Gordon knows. He's always watching his son. He's seen the scans. He's read the test results. He's glad that things are working out so well for James. I'm not here to shut down the program, Gordon tells him, lessening his son's fears that he maybe messed up, maybe something went wrong. James doesn't understand. If he's not here because of that, why are you here, Dad?
It's about plans. Batman growls from the shadows in the back. Plans to kill this city 100 different ways.
Gordon tries to explain everything to the Dark Knight.
There's nothing to explain. Your son is a psychopath. I know all about the drugs in the program. I know that it's working. I don't want the good James, the fixed James today. Today, I need the old James, the murderer, the genius. His bat computer displays a map of Gotham's waterway system. Decades of construction have left the system open to all manners of attack. He only has one fail-safe system still in place. He needs to know which route the Batman who laughs is going to use to infect Gotham. James begins to stammer.
Why would I even know that?
How would you know? Because it used to be all you knew. As a child, it was all you thought about. You were a legend among the criminals. Even the Joker cited you as the best at it.
Batman needs James to see the pattern. The one who laughs is winning, pulling Bruce Waynes from other worlds to create a serum that will turn Gotham into hell on Earth. They need the boy who is better at murdering than anyone else on the planet. James holds up his stock gun, the red dot swinging on the box. I'm not doing it, he says simply. And that's when gunfire explodes. Batman pulls James to cover as the bullets tear through the room.
Give me Gordon, and no one gets hurt,
the Grim Knight orders from the doorway. The two grapple, fighting in the streets, when suddenly pistols are pointed at one another.
Look at you! Careful you don't shoot your eye out!
Grim smiles, yet just because Batman doesn't like guns doesn't mean he doesn't know how to use them. The grappling gun goes off, sliding past the Grim Knight's head, and he smirks. Batman smiles back, and the line goes taunt around the Grim Knight's boot as a train passes behind him, pulling him away. Using the distraction, Batman orders the Gordons to get to the Batmobile, but the street is suddenly blocked by several vans, with the Grim Knight appearing again. His Gotham is his Batcave, the entire cityscape wired as one weapon to combat crime. His city has no trash, no Joker, no Scarecrow, no Riddler, no Batman either. Batman spits at him. I want you to look into the sky, the Grim Knight tells him, and above them is a plane, and he's gonna blow the starboard engine. Either you give me Gordon or Flight 378 and all 72 passengers on board will die when they crash into Midtown. Grim Knight orders Batman. Jim Gordon steps forward. They're not giving James to this imposter, but Batman knows. James isn't the Gordon that he's after. The Grim Knight stalks across the street, knocking Jim Gordon out in one blow. Picking up the body, the imposter Batman turns back. If Batman follows him, he'll kill everyone on the plane. James doesn't understand, so Batman explains to him. The last laugh failsafe required two voices to activate it. Myself and James Gordon. Meanwhile, back at the Iceberg Lounge, Oswald Cobblepot is suddenly interrupted in his cheating by the Batman who laughs. The evil one laughs and giggles, attacking Penguin's men with his own weapons. Kill him! Kill the Batgimp now! The Penguin screams as his men begin to die. Gunfire begins to erupt, but the one who laughs knows all of Cobblepot's tricks, using his building's defenses against him, shocking the ice and knocking everyone off their feet.
It's real amazing what you built here! I'm gonna let you in on a little secret that in most worlds, it's actually the Penguin who is the last villain that Batman must face. My favorite is when he ends up competing with you, becoming the overseer of a legal mecca built on this exact spot with the aid of his friend, Bruce Wayne. The one who laughs turns just as an elderly Bruce Wayne pops into existence. The man is confused and has no time to react as the Batman who laughs crosses the room, his hands wrapping around this Bruce Wayne's throat, and the needle slides into Bruce Wayne's throat before his spiked visor crashes against his nose. The one who laughs leaves the elderly Wayne on the floor, laying in a growing pool of his own blood. The stunned Oswald watches as he calmly walks out of the bar. I need to know which one he's going to use, James. I need you to see it. Batman explains underground to James Gordon. Gotham has 19 ways of infecting the water system, but James doesn't know anymore. He can't see it. Angrily, Batman begins to punch the pipes around him, yelling, "Which one is it?" And James pulls him off quickly. I'll try, as he tries to calm Batman. Batman shudders as he tries to get himself under control, apologizing. He wasn't ready for him to come back. He wasn't prepared. I'm going to lose to him, aren't I? For the first time in my life, Batman isn't working. Their words are interrupted as Alfred comes over the radio. He's apologizing. It's him, sir. It's the Joker. He was so drugged that he shouldn't be able to move, but moments ago he got up and kept saying, "You're breaking my heart!" And he attacked me, and he ran off shrieking. Batman turns away, finally coming to a realization. You're right. You're all right except me. Later, Alfred returns to the Batcave, having gotten the alert that Bruce was down there. But the old clock denies him. He won't be deterred, though, and crosses the grounds, finding the original entrance. Inside, he smashes the vials of the Joker antitoxin. Fear fills Alfred's eyes as he questions what Bruce Wayne is doing. Maybe our plan is wrong. Maybe it's all been wrong. Maybe Bruce Wayne misunderstood the message long ago. The Bat is a messenger from the underworld that tells you what to do, not what to become. Alfred tries to fight it. Batman will work, he cries. Sorry, old friend, but plans have changed. Batman smiles as he puts on the spiked visor. Alfred stands in the cave, his eyes fixed in horror at the man who has become his son over the years. What have you done? What I had to do, Bruce answers, but Alfred crosses the cave quickly, trying to rip the visor off of Bruce's head. Red eyes are glaring back at him, and Alfred is horrified. Alfred, do not do that again! Bruce snarls, reaching for the visor. The one with the spikes over the eyes, the one that makes him look like the Batman who laughs. But Alfred refuses. He's not Bruce anymore, and he tries to explain. Every monster that he's ever faced, he has stayed true to who he is. Why change now? So Bruce tries to explain. The Batman who laughs sees through the membrane of the dark multiverse. He sees the worst fears and desires of people. He forged that visor from dark metal. If I can learn to use it, I can beat him at his own game. Bruce leans in. Please, I'll take it from you if I have to. But Alfred refuses, swinging the visor against Bruce's head. Anger fills Bruce as he launches himself towards his faithful butler. But Alfred isn't afraid to fight back, calling on his years of military service. He stuns the Batman, but Bruce is back on his feet quickly, screaming at him. All you've done for years is hold me back. I carried you through the years out of pity. But Bruce stops mid-rant, his mind clearing briefly, and he recoils away, sickened and frightened by himself. I'm so sorry, he gasps as Alfred pulls him into a strong embrace. Yet Alfred knows his job has been to protect him all of these years. Yet I fear there's no protecting you this time, he confesses. And Bruce agrees, but the Batman isn't about him. It's about Gotham. I need to see it as a monster does, he says, pulling on the visor and speeding away in the Batmobile. Batman's evil smile begins to fill the room as he begins to speak to Jim Gordon. On his world, they were the best of friends, but he never got to meet him as he has now. Jim Gordon died before the Batman who laughs was ever created, after the Joker booby-trapped his notebook. They stand in the underground lair with the grim Knight behind them, stoic and well-armed. Jim tries to fight through the gag as the one who laughs continues. It's almost time. We need only 2 more canisters to change the whole city. Hey, with a little serum, you and I could be partners here too. Jim finally gets around the gag. You may think that you're some final enemy, but you're just another ridiculous costume in an Arkham intake bin, he spits. The Batmobile itself cruises through the streets of Gotham disguised as a taxi. With the visor, Batman can see them, the dark truths of the good people of the city, with the radio crackling and the voice of Alfred filling the car. The Grim Knight is using the city's electrical grid to direct more energy to the pockets of the dark metal. There seems to be enough to create portals into other worlds. I'll go figure it out, Alfred. Patch me through to James Gordon. The young man checks in, and he's narrowed the waterways down to 3 that the one who laughs will probably use. He's heading into the biggest one now. Let me know when you're there. Signing off. But before he can, James Gordon, the son of Jim Gordon, asks him if he has a failsafe for what he's becoming. The car continues forward as the sights of the darkest secrets of Gotham continue around him. He does. It was earlier that night that he was checking the water for contaminants when a figure came up behind him, the Joker. Still wounded, but seemingly invincible. Batman threw him to the ground, his fist cocked, ready to rain blows down at his greatest enemy. Why was he here? He got what he wanted. But that's not what the Joker wanted. He wants neither of them to win. He wants their war to go on forever. So Batman releases him, standing up. So you're not here to say goodbye? No, Bats. I'm here to say good luck. Maybe it was the toxin talking, but Batman finally turned back to him. My aid. If I turn into a monster, he won't be able to do what needs to be done. Joker understands. If Batman turns into that thing, into the Batman who laughs, oh, I'll blow your head off! Cross my heart and hope to die! The two sit there and they begin to laugh together, the sounds haunting the caverns around them. Blackgate Prison. Batman quietly stalks through the shadows, the dark metal energy reading off the charts. Through the visor, he can see the energy waves sparkling around him, when suddenly there's a voice. Freeze! The guard orders, his pistol trained to the back of Batman's head. He thinks that Batman is the one who laughs. But Batman knows the man's ID tag. He is David Harper. He knows his life, his wife, his daughter. Madeline has a stuffed Batman she takes everywhere, and laughs when you squeeze it. I'm not fond of it, because I'm Batman. Batman then puts on his visor, because he needs David's help. He turns back as suddenly the prison changes around him to a newer version, bigger. The voice confirms it from behind him, and he turns to see Bruce Wayne of a different universe. I run this place. Welcome to the end of the line. Back in the sewers, the Grim Knight releases a confused Jim Gordon, yet it's simple. Jim hunted him in his world, and now I'm going to hunt you in yours. But back at the prison, Batman tries to talk to Bruce Wayne. Mr. Wayne, listen to me. You're in danger. Yet Bruce laughs. He has the nerve to sneak in here in that costume, and he's the one in danger. This isn't the old Gotham. There are no more revolving doors here. You're in my world now, he tells him, but suddenly there aren't two of them now standing in the old Blackgate prison in Batman's world. The other guards appear confused by Batman's visor, and he orders Officer Harper to watch this elderly Bruce Wayne before engaging. Smoke pellets are launched, holding the guards for a second. Turning back, he's shocked to see Officer Harper suddenly lower a security gate between them. Damn it, I told you I'm not the Batman who laughs! Officer Harper knows though. Pulling free a knife, he slashes the elderly Bruce Wayne's throat, killing him. Why? Why did you kill him? Batman yells, pounding against the thick plastic of the security wall. But deep in the caverns, Jim begins to run. Yet the crowing of the evil Robins quickly follow behind him, and they latch on, teeth sinking into his shoulder. At Blackgate, Officer Harper lifts his security helmet, revealing a hideous grin, the one of the Batman who laughs. The other guards come up behind him, and Batman tells them what's happening. It's the Batman who laughs! He's behind me! But the Batman who laughs disguises himself again, and he orders the men to shoot this Batman. He tries to confuse them, and they open fire. Beneath the Gotham City, the Grim Knight pushes along James Gordon, his hands tied behind his back. He tries to reason with the man. If there's any part of Batman in him, then he can't be all bad. I'm your friend. I'm your ally. He tries, but his only answer is a knife in the back as the Grim Knight orders him to keep moving. They stop. Gordon knows that they are in the sewers under the streets of Gotham. Grim looks up, staring at the manhole cover above them. He knows. Crime Alley, where it all began. The beginning is not so different. His family cutting through the alleyway, the man with the gun. He thought that he would be trapped in that moment forever. It's the origin of almost every Batman, isn't it? But this world, this is where it grows different. In this world, there is a stumble in the dark, and Bruce turned away from the horror on the ground in front of him. Hot metal clattered to the ground, and a young boy reached for a gun. Kid, you don't have to! The criminal stammers as he holds up his hands, trying to ward off what is coming. Tears stream down Bruce's cheeks from his eyes, and the gunshot echoes. The crack of the radio brings the Grim Knight back to reality. Report in! You're off route! I told you not to play with your food! The evil voice cackles, then the radio clicks off. Gordon turns to him. He doesn't understand. A Batman that uses a gun as his first answer? How does that happen? It happened deliberately. Through training and discipline, he traveled the world, learning of every assassin and soldier that he could. He needed a way to kill evil, a weapon that would make him Gotham's own angel of death. The study was dark and quiet. The wound in his side bled as he stared at the guns arranged before him. The pistol was in his hand as the bat crashed through the window. Instinct took over and he aimed and fired in one smooth motion. Yes, Father, I shall become a bat. Later, the crime families of Gotham set in a swirl of smoke, and from the darkness, the Batman emerged. Ladies and gentlemen, you have eaten well. Your feast is over. From this moment on, no one is safe. The fire in the building raged, burning the disease that infected Gotham away. It was the beginning of Batman's war, and they all fell one by one.
Gordon still tries to piece it together as the Grim Knight pushes him through the sewers, and another blow silences him. In his world, the Grim Knight never faced the kind of colorful characters that this Batman did. He faced something else. On his world, his James Gordon was the one who pushed him. He didn't like the Batman's way of doing things. If anything, this Batman character is making our jobs easier. Detective Flask smiles, drinking his coffee, but Gordon doesn't believe that this is justice. It's terror. That night, on the roof of the GCPD, Gordon waited by a bat signal, the full SWAT at his command. Rifle shots suddenly darkened the lights, and Batman was over his shoulder. I thought you were smarter than this. Why draw me into the light? But it's not just a light, it's a magnet, and Batman is dragged across the roof. Gordon smiles. They finally found all of his secret caches. His men are raiding them as they speak. Batman will have nothing at his disposal. We're going to unmask you here, take you into custody, and put you in front of a judge. Gordon smiles. Yet, Batman simply turns to the other officers on the roof. How much did Gordon pay you to stay with him? You know whose city this is. I know you each by name. You're bluffing. I just spent the GCPD slush fund on Wayne Tech to hide their identities. Gordon scoffs and Batman smiles. Money well spent. Suddenly, the officers' vests all begin to glow red as they explode, killing them instantly. Batman breaks free, throwing himself at Gordon, and he hangs the man over the rooftop, showing him the city below. You've given me a good fight, Jim, but you're in my way. The radio crackles as Batman turns to leave. Something has hijacked the GCPD blimps, and they're dive-bombing Arkham Asylum and the Blackgate prison. Without a word, the Dark Knight descends on the city. Back in our world, with the hostage Gordon, he sits and watches live feeds of everywhere that he and his family have lived for years. The Grim Knight explains that the one who laughs has terrible plans for him and his family. It took a lot of work to change his mind, to make him see that my way was better. Gordon doesn't understand. What does he want? Suddenly, the Grim Knight is there, his pistol pointed in Jim's face. To save you, Jim. In my world, the city became my weapon, taking the lives of would-be murderers, rapists, and the corrupt without me even lifting a finger. Yet Gordon was still there. One day, you came and confronted Bruce at the manor. I disarmed you, humiliated you in front of so many, your life's work dismantled in front of you. The Grim Knight remembers all of these things and he tightens his finger on the trigger to convince him that his plan was too easy. The Grim Knight explains that he wants Jim to see what they're going to do to this world. You're not Batman at all, Jim tells him. He can hear it in his voice. He doesn't believe in Gotham. The trigger pulls, the hammer drops, and a bony finger is there to stomp it. No, this isn't the way, the one who laughs tells him. But Jim doesn't understand. Why would he stop this? Why would the Batman who laughs deny the Grim Knight his revenge? But the Batman just laughs. This isn't about revenge. The Grim Knight is trying to show him mercy. What I have in store for you is far worse than death. Blackgate Prison. The guards open fire, bullets raining down on Batman, impacting against the Kevlar on his cape. Stand down! I'm the real Batman! He yells, trying to get them to see that the man behind the bulletproof glass is actually the real Batman who laughs. The one who laughs grins behind his disguise. Fun being me, isn't it, Bruce? I'd get used to it. Bye-bye now! As he turns to leave, yet Batman won't let him get away again, throwing an acid bomb at the glass, and the glass begins to sizzle and melt as the acid slowly begins to work. He continues to yell for the guards, trying to convince them of his true identity, that he's worked with them before, and suddenly the glass begins to give and he launches himself through, leaping away from their outstretched hands. He rolls to the other side, seeing the alternate Bruce Wayne, the one who is the warden of Blackgate Prison in another universe, dead in a pool of his own blood, his head nearly cut off. There's no time. The guards are right behind him. Thinking quickly, Batman slings the dead Bruce Wayne over his shoulder. This man is the warden of Blackgate, so he's also wearing body armor. This allows Batman to get away as the body twitches to every impact of the rounds. The few that get through cut Batman like a knife. He doesn't have time to slow down. More guards are entering the room armed with armor-piercing rounds. There's no time, and he starts yelling, screaming, and that's when they stop. How's your father, Officer Jimenez? Bus Route 15, and you, Officer Leonard. Fire escape outside your bedroom window still make you nervous? The guards suddenly stop, stunned. Officer Pine, 5 Elmore Lane. Officer Gantz, 1 Narrows Heights.
He's snarling now, his eyes red. I know everything about you. Now I'm gonna walk out of this place, and if you even think of calling in the choppers or the boats, I will come for you. He's smiling now, his hand holding up the severed head of Bruce Wayne. Why? Because I'm the Batman who laughs. His laughing filling the room, echoing in the emptiness of the prison. Finally, he turns, descending into the sewer system below the prison. The guards all stunned. No one follows. But down on the sewer system, Jim Gordon continues to run, the Robins directly behind him. One leaps, sinking its sharp teeth into his shoulder, and he pushes them off, when suddenly a voice calls out from behind him as the grim Knight enters the tunnel. Do you recognize them, Jim? The Batman who laughs made them special for me. They're all versions of your son. Jim stares stunned. They can't be. And the Grim Knight lifts his knife, a special one that had been made for his Jim Gordon when the man had taken him down. I'm gonna use it to gut you and feed it to your boys. Yet Jim doesn't wait, and instead he dives headfirst into the teeming waters of the sewer system. The currents are strong, pulling him away, twisting him in the waters. Finally, he surfaces, unable to hold his breath any longer. Yet the crows are there, their sharp teeth glinting in their hideous smiles. 2 gunshots thunder in the caverns, and the twin crows fall with bullets in their heads. Gordon turns, his son standing over him with the pistol in hand. Dad, they're not me. I'm right here. He comforts his father, the pistol still smoking in his hands. In the lair of the Court of the Owls, a light flashes on, illuminating a patch below. Step into the light, a voice commands, and the leather-clad Batman steps out with a flourish in his arms and a smile. Ta-da! The court stares down at him, questioning his motives for coming to see them, and the one who laughs grins. He's a fan of their work. He comes to ask a simple favor. Yet, despite his humbling words, the court is divided on the matter, wondering what tortures they should put him through instead. Finally, it is decided that they will abide tradition and let the youngest choose the man's fate. Squeak of a wheelchair can be heard, and the Batman who laughs turns to find a young girl sitting before him. Why should we hear you out, creature? She asks simply. The one who laughs asks but a simple favor. He once got them to become what it was meant to be, just like them. It'll be a hoot, I promise. He smiles. The girl stares from behind her mask, pondering for the briefest of moments before giving her answer. I say no. The Talons will take your head now. I'd like to make it a lamp, a nightlight for my room. The one who laughs turns, anger filling his voice, though the smile never leaves his face. I beseech the court! You haven't even heard my case. The court has given its verdict. He can now take his request to the Talons. The warrior owls begin to stalk from the shadows, their eyes glowing yellow. Yet that's the thing I already have. The Batman who laughs cackles as the armless Talons move into the light. Shocked gasps emit from the owls' viewing platform as they turn to escape. Yet the building begins to tremble as great booms can be heard throughout the complex. The young girl, she begins to beg for her life as he turns back to her, and he explains that he's simply getting what he came for, as he gently nudges her chair, pushing it towards the edge of the platform that they stand on. Her screams, they disappear as she falls into the abyss. The Batman who laughs does truly admire the court. It's why he took it over in another world. Behind him, a Bruce Wayne clad in Talon armor suddenly appears into being, and he stares, stunned at the one who laughs. He does not hesitate, beginning his assault, demanding to know who the grinning madman is. Over the city, Batman watches through his visor, seeing the worst the city can become. Luckily, James found Gordon, and the three quickly meet up at the Batcave. Jim quickly begins to explain that he saw the Batman who laughs plans. Yet, none of that matters now. With the two of them there, Batman can activate his last laugh protocol and seal the city off from contamination. It will stop him from polluting the water supply and give them 1,000 ways to catch him. The one who laughs has lost. Quickly, Batman orders Jim to place his hand on the activation scanner and speak the command phrase. They have 2 minutes for Batman to activate his. Gordon nods, activating his half of the last laugh protocol, and everyone breathes a sigh of relief. It worked. Thank God, Batman says. Gordon smiles. They were lucky. If the Grim Knight hadn't tried to hunt him, if Batman hadn't found them and pulled them out of the tunnels, none of this would have worked. Batman's hand hovers over the activation panel. You're right. We were lucky. He hisses. The one who laughs wanted them to activate the last laugh. He can't hack into it, and he needs it to get into the reservoir. It's always been his plan. Batman growls, and suddenly the Bat computer beeps with an incoming message. Batman presses the button. Hello, Batman! Forgive the intrusion, but I really must show you something. The hologram of the Batman who laughs grins. The villain walks through the cave, and suddenly the true purpose of Gotham is revealed. Look at it! He cries, gesturing to the holographic map of Batman's city. You think that Gotham was built as a beacon, as a haven. Last Laugh was created so that Gotham could become a seat of power, a fortress city. The point of Gotham was to conquer, he proclaims, his smile growing ever wider. Jim steps forward, pushing Batman aside as he yells at the one who laughs, yet the villain tells Batman to merely see it like he does. It's vision, it's soul. Batman stares through the visor. Make it all real, he cackles. Batman throws Jim aside, sending him falling into the equipment as he pushes him across the cave. He stops at the computers, 20 seconds to go. Alfred is behind him now, trying to reach him through the toxins. Regardless of what the city was meant for, his family has always stood for what was right. Behind the visor, tears fall from Batman's eyes. 10 seconds. He places his hand on the activation panel. Help the city become what it really is. Help it fulfill its destiny. Help it become the best version of itself possible. The hologram cackles as it leans over Batman and the computer, almost as a demon on his shoulder. Batman activates Last Laugh. Now, Gotham City. The city begins to lock itself down as Last Laugh activates. Bridges are raised, tunnels are sealed, citizens look up into the night sky to see the drones overhead. And deep within the Batcave, Jim and James Gordon continue to try and reason with the man that they have considered their ally until mere moments ago. Listen to us! You activated the Last Laugh just like that gargoyle wants. You have to shut it off, Jim yells as he beats on the glass of the box that Batman has trapped them in. Yet it's no use. James tells his father, Batman is gone. I'm not. Not yet, the Caped Crusader growls, watching his city on the monitors. Then why? Why did you activate it? Gordon questions. Because it's our only chance. Batman explains that the Grim Knight will most likely hack into the system's power grid within a few hours. Until then, though, we control the city's power. It gives us time to set a trap. Batman stalks across the cave, standing in front of the men that he still considers his allies. You can make that face, but I still need your help in protecting the city. Gordon just stares. What makes Batman think that he can beat the one who laughs? You're almost him right now. What makes you think you can win in this condition? He questions. But Batman smiles. Because of exactly that, I'm almost all him. And so I know his one weakness. Elsewhere in the city, the one who laughs stands on a rooftop with a high-powered rifle in his hands. He stares down the scope, watching Crime Alley with a hideous smile playing across his face. Come get your reward. He giggles. Energy suddenly crackles within the alley, and an elderly Bruce Wayne is sitting in a wheelchair in the street. Reporters stand around him snapping pictures as the man who used his own money to save Gotham receives an award from the city. His family stands around him, family that would stand beside Batman and other multiverses. The one who laughs, his finger tightens on the trigger when a voice suddenly cuts through the radio. Bruce, is that you? It is, monster. Now watch your target closely as I make him disappear before your very eyes. The one who laughs, rifle kicks and the bullet speeds away, yet the scene then shifts and the elderly Bruce is gone. A laugh is pulled from the evil Batman's throat. I thought you were finally on my side, but apparently you still got a fighting chance, Bruce. I give you maybe another hour, maybe less, so enjoy it while it lasts. Oh, I'm enjoying it just fine. Batman explains that he has control of the power grid, so he has shut down all of the sites with dark metal, except one. The biggest one, right here under the manor. He explains over the radio, watching the dark energy pulse around the cave. The dark Batman laughs as Bruce is taking control. He knows that the portal must be massive and can almost describe the scenes that are playing out before Bruce. He sees thousands of Bruce Waynes. Some of them are businessmen, some are family men, some have grown old, some have grown happy. But they're all happier than Bruce, the one who watches them now. Do you understand why? The evil Batman questions. Have you learned anything? Looking at these versions of yourself. I look better with hair. Batman growls. I'll be there in 1 hour. I'll bring the last Wayne through. You want enough serum to affect the whole city? Come and get it. The one who laughs grins and cackles as he leaps into the night, lightning crackling behind him. Further in the cave, Gordon and his son begin to access Batman's armory, with the light finally turning green and the two entering. The weapons line the walls side by side with advanced bat suits. "That is a lot of Batarang guns," James whispers. Later, the storm grows closer as Batman stands on the lawn of Wayne Manor. Alfred pleads with him over the radio. He's at 5% of healthy blood cells. If he faces the Batman who laughs now, it will push him over the edge. But Batman knows, and he orders Alfred to stay away once the Batman who laughs arrives. "I don't want you facing that monster alone," Alfred tells him. "I meant stay away from me." The Caped Crusader grows quiet as he removes the dark metal visor from his head, allowing it to fall into the grass. Lightning continues to crack in the distance, and suddenly, the one who laughs is here. "I came! I knew you would." Batman's vision blurs and the dark mirrored version of himself becomes even more monstrous, his teeth elongated with fangs. "I can smell your blood, you're so close!" Yet Batman merely glares through the cracks in his cowl. "I'll never be you." Yet the evil Batman just smiles wider. "That's what I said. I even called the family over so that I could tell them it would be okay. I went and got a pitcher of water. That's all it took. When the family arrived, I killed them all!" The two stand in the field, watching each other. The one who laughs doesn't understand the plan. If they fight, Batman will change. If they don't, then he'll get the final Wayne. The two launch themselves into this battle, leaping through the air with lightning cracking behind them as the evil Batman swings his Bat-A-Chain. Inside the cave, the Grim Knight is down to his last two bat drones, tossing out a grenade and dropping one before he empties his rifle into another. The bat bots explode and the Grim Knight stalks away, not bothering to look at the explosion. He stands above the Gotham waterway, radioing in. Nothing stands in his way now. He holds the canister over the edge, preparing to finish his mission, when suddenly a net is launched over him, tangling his feet and dropping him to the floor. From the shadows, James and Jim Gordon swoop in, clad in advanced bat suits. The two land, aiming their weapons at the well-armed psychopath, and the Grim Knight barks a laugh. "Ha! You think those suits are gonna protect you? I've studied your Batman's armory, and even his most advanced tech isn't beyond me." He touches a button on his wrist computer, and a shock works through the suits, causing Jim to drop his weapon. The Grim Knight cuts his way free with one slash of his knife. "No more tricks or gadgets, Jim. It's just you and me, one last time." The two open fire, the rounds hitting Grim Knight in his body armor, with blood popping from the rounds that find unarmored flesh, yet the Grim Knight keeps coming. Out on the lawn, the two Batmen trade blows, the one who laughs swooping and swinging his Bat-A-Chain, yet Batman's powerful kick launches him into a tree, cracking it in half. Batman's vision is clouded now, warped as the toxin of the Joker begins to take over, and the one who laughs is a monster, a demon that pulls itself free from the ground. He struggles up explaining the true nature of the bat, the only mammal that flies, to show us how he should evolve. "Every Wayne that I've pulled through was selfish. They all compromised to win. They're all bats. They all evolved." He laughs as he stares at a version that was once him. No matter what Wayne he pulls through, they will never truly be happy. And Batman growls. "I know one." The energy cracks and suddenly a young Bruce Wayne is running across the lawn. He calls out to his father, turning to see that he is surrounded by strangers. "Alfred! Alfred, there's a monster!" the young boy screams. Batman waves his arms, getting the young Wayne's attention. "Bruce, look at me! Stay away from him! Run to those gates and keep running!" The young boy does, yelling for the man dressed as a bat. "Don't let him get me!" "I won't, I swear, just run!" The monstrous Batman runs across the lawn. He sees the plan now. Batman wants him to follow the boy, to fall into the trap. "Well, I'm sorry, Bruce, but the truth is that all of this, it wasn't your trap. It was mine!" Elsewhere, Gordon has disarmed the Grim Knight, his knife spinning away, yet he isn't done. He kicks James aside before Jim can land a punch across his chin. The Knight responds, his own blow stunning Gordon until he's wrapped his hands around the policeman's throat. With seeming ease, the Grim Knight lifts him off the ground. The Grim Knight is speaking to both of them now. He knows that Jim can't stand his son, that he doesn't believe him, that he thinks he's nothing more than a psychopath, a murderer. "Don't listen to him, James! Help me!" Gordon struggles as a powerful hand crushes his windpipe. James struggles to his feet, staring at his father as life begins to leave his body. He puts down the cowl to his batsuit. And on the lawn, the one who laughs launches himself with animal-like speed. Batman tries to defend the boy. I don't need him! The evil fiend cackles, his claws finding Batman's face, a battering cutting into his eye. He screams in pain as the one who laughs stands over him. Get ready to laugh, Bruce, of all the dark truths that I've shown you about you and your city. The evil Batman stands over him, a needle in his hands. The happiest Bruce Wayne in all of existence isn't any of the ones that I have brought through. Bruce stares up in horror as he realizes what the dark mirror of himself is saying. The happiest Bruce Wayne is the one that let go of all his ideals, his sadness, and became the true Bat of Gotham. The happiest Bruce Wayne is you, right now, in this moment, as you become me. The needle plunges into Batman's chest as he screams, and the evil Batman cackles into the night. Slowly, Bruce's face begins to twist as his lips pull into a vicious grin. He stares up into the face of the Batman who laughs, his eyes large and red with insanity. The one who laughs takes a step back, removing his foot from Bruce's chest, allowing him to stand. See? I was right, wasn't I? He grins. This is the happiest moment in Batman's life, isn't it? The two men turn to see the young Bruce in the alternate reality running towards the mansion, when finally lightning cracks in the background, and the one who laughs turns, a small syringe with a light on the end of it in his hands. Once the light in the syringe shows red, your blood is my blood. With Bruce's blood polluted, the one who laughs can use it to transform the city. Everyone will become infected with the Joker toxin. Yet he stops, pulling free a submachine gun from his chest. But it means something else, doesn't it? He asks. Batman just smiles, his look of insanity complete. There can be only one. In the water reservoir, the Grim Knight has his hands around Commissioner Gordon's throat. He dumps the toxin into the water with his free hand, calling for James to help him kill his father. But Gordon isn't out yet, slamming his knee into the Grim Knight before jumping into the water to go for the Knight's weapon. Back at the battle, though, the one who laughs' smile somehow gets broader, drawing the weapon around so that it points at his own head. This is it, Bruce! Fly high, my friend! Fly high and lead your world as a true Batman! Batman just smiles. I will, brother. A brief moment passes and the one who laughs cocks his head to the side. The gun swings around, gunpowder exploding as he pulls the trigger, launching a small burst that clips Batman in the shoulder. You almost had me, Bruce, he snarls. I don't know why you haven't changed all the way, but I don't care anymore. He aims the weapon again as he speaks, realizing that his plan is not working. Batman is not becoming the one who laughs. See, I was your best friend, but now I'm just gonna kill you. In the cave, Jim is being dragged from the water, with the Grim Knight once again having him by the throat. Instead of killing him, he has an idea. Make him the first one. Gordon tries to hold his breath as he's thrown beneath the surface of the waves, now polluted with the toxin. The Grim Knight screams for him to open up his mouth, to let the madness in. He calls for James again, ordering him to slit his father's throat if he doesn't listen. At the manor, the one who laughs is distracted as he turns to see the young Bruce running away. I almost forgot about you! He smiles as he turns from the wounded Batman, pulling free the blade from his coat, and he begins to stalk his prey. The young boy leads him into the Wayne family cemetery. Come on, Bruce! I'm a friend, I promise! He calls, his knife glinting in the random lightning strikes. The villain turns as the boy darts from behind a headstone, distracting him, when suddenly there is movement, and Alfred steps out, shotgun in hand. Die, demon! He screams, the weapon bucking in his hands as he fires again and again. Die and you go back to the hell you came from! The villain laughs as he struggles to his feet, the empty click of Alfred's weapon betraying his lack of ammo. You almost had me! Just a couple more shots! The Batman who laughs struggles, but before he can move against Alfred, a boot connects with his head from behind. Why the hell aren't you changing? He snarls as he turns to see Batman behind him smiling. Just lucky, I guess. The trap springs around them as the grave lifts and the weapons activate. They rotate, and the one who laughs merely stares. You think a few tasers are gonna stop me? He questions, yet his words are cut short as the weapons fire, harpoons piercing his limbs. A brief moment passes, and the shock courses through his body, pulling a horrific scream from his lips. But the Batman who laughs barely slows, beginning to rip the sharp metal from his body. Batman rips free his mother's headstone, crossing the ground quickly. You know who's a bigger joke than the worst Batman? He asks as he swings the heavy slab of stone, cracking his enemy across the face. The Batman that he beats. The one who last falls away, his jaw dislocated, his smile hanging, and a horrible grin. Batman pauses, staring at him. Why aren't you laughing? He says with a giggle in his throat. At the reservoir, the Grim Knight is still calling for James to slit his father's throat as he holds him underwater. When finally James moves forward and buries the knife deep into the Grim Knight's back. He screams at the enemy as he plunges the blade over and over again. Back at the manor, though, Batman continues to slam the gravestone into the one who laughs. The villain hits the ground hard, so he swings again, and he laughs, the sound echoing into the night. Alfred moves forward, trying to pull his ward off the villain, yet Batman throws him away. It's the best feeling in the world, Alfred! His foot slamming again and again into the one who laughs. Everyone in the world needs to feel this way! He screams into the night, holding the slab of concrete high, staring down at the face of the one who laughs, thanking him for giving him this feeling. Hey, bats! A voice calls out of the shadows. The hero turns to see the sight of the Joker standing there, weapon in hand, smile spread across his face. You're welcome, he says as he squeezes the trigger. Later, Bruce stands in the Batcave, the glow of the forge that is melting his dark metal visor reflecting off his eyes. Alfred comes up behind him, staring at his bandaged ward. He's surprised that the young Bruce's blood acted so quickly to reverse the change within his Bruce. Yet he is proud of the young man for withstanding the change for so long. Force of will. Yet Bruce knows that it wasn't a force of will. He explains to Alfred that he believes that the Joker rigged the toxin that was in his heart to give Bruce more time than anyone thought, to give him just enough time. Somewhere in the city, James Gordon is preparing to return to prison, but Commissioner Gordon arrives to speak to his son. He's pulled a few strings and his son won't be going back to prison. James pauses, looking at his father. He isn't quite at the point of health that he wanted his father to believe. I'm not there yet, he tells him. Gordon smiles, neither is he, but they're both working on it. And a strange moment of peace within Gotham City, father and son embrace in a hug. And finally, Gordon heads off into the hustle of the city. He heads outside and one of the police officers notices his pale skin and strange gait. Commissioner, you okay? You don't look so good. Gordon nods, turning away as he pulls free his glasses, revealing that his eyes, well, they're red with the insanity of the Joker toxin. Never better. He smiles.
And there you have it, today's full story. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell right here on this channel, as it will only ever be receiving full stories from the other channel. And if you want to see the videos as they come out, make sure you go check out the Comicstorian main channel, where you get 5 days of videos a week. I'll see you next time.